Hello, my name's Matthew Spencer and I'm the author of a new book called Black River, which is a police procedural that was published by Allen and Unwin in June. It's set largely in North Parramatta on the grounds of a big private boys' boarding school. Something has gone wrong there. The police are investigating, and I'm going to read to you from the first chapter when a journalist by the name of Bowman has been sent to the school by his editor to report on the police investigation. Now, Bowman went to the school and actually lived there because his father was a teacher there, but he hasn't been back there for 30 years. So as he drives, he's collecting his thoughts both about the story that he's been sent to cover and the school where he hasn't been for 30 years. Bowman went out. He took a camera from the picture desk, grabbed his bag and headed downstairs and over the road to his Nissan in the car park. He went left on Elizabeth, down Cleveland onto Wattle and smelt the fish market as he flogged the Nissan up the ramp onto the Anzac Bridge. The radio had ditched the evening quiz and the announcer was cycling through the story, building as she went, a murder ballad on repeat. Prince Alfred. The name kept darting out at him, and he turned the volume down to think. BMK at Prince Alfred. His head shook. He couldn't compute. There were things he could comprehend. He was 45. He was still kicking around on general news. Brandy Alexander, his editor, didn't rate him. It was not just any school. Bowman knew that as well as anybody. It was 400 acres fenced off in the suburbs, patrician, blazered and slap bang in the centre of the western sprawl. The site had been a colonial estate, hacked from the great gums of the plain. The Church of England had come later, turning the land into a boarding school for the sons of the sunburnt pastoralists. Generations of indoctrination and conformity and bastardry had seeped into that earth. You conformed or it broke you, your spirit, your psyche, even your very bones. The school was a throwback, vast, gated, studded with sandstone buildings and hemmed by native bush. Bowman hadn't set foot in the place in 3 decades, but he knew every gully and trail. He loosened his grip on the wheels, scratching a red flare of eczema up the inside of his left arm. Fraudulence was stressful. He wasn't cut out for this, for chasing the big stories. His mind linked to the school and other humiliations, Saturday sport, gangly under a highball. He hadn't been cut out for that either. Ahead he saw the Prius and his loathing for Diamond evaporated. It took the pressure off. Having the police reporter on the story, Bowman could play second fiddle while Diamond wrote the main piece and carried the can when they got beaten by their rivals. The phone rang on the Bluetooth. "It's just coming through on the wires," Alexander said. "The body was found at some place called the Hay Stand, up the back of the school." Bowman pictured it, on its own above the playing fields. "Jesus." "What is it?" Alexander said. "Literally an old feed store for horses. It's ornamental now, big sandstone columns, no walls. Like a rotunda, except square. Can you get near it? They've clamped the place down real tight. Media's corralled on an oval. No drones." "There's lots of ways in." "Good." Bowman saw flashing lights in his mirrors. Unmarked police car at full tilt. It belted round him and hit the siren through a red light up the hill to Drummoyne, heading west. Everything was heading west. "The TVs have pulled. Try to get a chopper up," Alexander was saying. "The duty pilot's taken a dive. Salmonella. If you get through, we should have it on our own." "What have the cops said?" "Not much. just as he used the black plastic again. Bowman glanced in his blind spot, changed lanes. The moon was up, full red gold in the darkening sky. "Listen," Alexander said. "Diamond and the snapper'll go in the front gate with the rest of the pack. You're on your own. We need pictures. We're pushing deadline back. You got 2 hours." The editor hung up and the Nissan climbed the bridge at Gladesville. Bowman craned his neck left as he crested the arch, but the height of the curb blocked the view of the riverfront real estate. BMK had killed twice here near the bridge, 2 nights a month apart. November 1st and then November 30th, under a big blue moon. A tabloid Sun on the Mirror had cherry-picked the lunacy and christened him Blue Moon Killer, BMK. Crisp, good for headlines. Bowman was past Gladesville and into Ryde, still 15 clicks from the school. Rows of red brick houses stunted by traffic crime. He replayed the conversation with Alexander. The editor was aware Bowman had history at the school. How much did he know? There were things on the public record if he looked. Ferret-eyed Brandy was good at looking. Still, he was backing him, trusting him to get through the police cordon and come back with a story. That made a change. At Carlingford, he cut across to Kissing Point, turned right on Beddington Road and drove up past Gauche Castles and the golf course at Oatlands. His heart beat fast. It was a long time since he'd been on these streets. The 2 main gates to Prince Albert on Pennant Hills Road, 200 metres apart, were both blocked by patrol cars with lights flashing. A television truck sat at the second entrance. Bowman didn't slow. Rounding a bend, he passed the stone gatehouse to the original estate and looked left into a suburban street. He parked, grabbed his bag and got out. He stood listening for a moment and then jogged across the road. The old boom gate, hidden by foliage, sat over a dirt track leading into the property. He ducked under it and began to walk. He knew where he was going. It wasn't far. Thank you very much. Black River, Matthew Spencer, lovely to talk with you. Bye-bye.